Aujourd'hui, je vais parler de how I handle gifting as someone who's ostensibly great at personal finance, but still has to suffer through the complete cluster muck that is the American holiday, aka gifting season. Oh boy, can you tell that I feel pretty strongly about this particular subject yet? I'll unpack here. So hey, it's after Thanksgiving. Black Friday happened. That's supposedly when American businesses finally turn a profit in a whole year. Did you guys know that? Good lord. It's only in late November that when businesses and retailers make money. Yeah, at least anecdotally that's true. So most Americans love buying a whole lot of presents to give to each other for that presumably brief dopamine high of opening presents on Christmas morning. I mean, maybe it's because I didn't really grow up with much of a Christmas tradition, or that my family's financial situation was much more precarious decades ago, or whatever reason. I just do not care about this tradition of essentially exchanging massive amounts of what I consider junk for the sake of having lots of presents to open. But you know what? I could pretend that I'm being anti-consumerist or pro-environment, but the reality is that I just think it's a waste of effort and time and money. But I don't want to be on a negative rant all the time, so today my spiel will be simple. I'm going to share what I think are reasonable alternative methods of gifting this holiday season, right? It might make you feel better, it will definitely save you some money, and finally, maybe even influence your social circle a little bit. So yeah, all positive trends for a better and easier early retirement future. If you're not there yet, or if you're like me, already retired, at least a way to keep yourself from becoming an even grumpier old dude. Anyway, if you're intrigued by what I might say, please subscribe, like, comment, share, all that social media buzzwords, or don't, whatever you want to do, because I'm rich enough for me and I'll be great regardless. Okay, first method, which is the one that I usually use, right? Give only what you want other people to have, and that's the easiest way. It raises a whole lot of headaches because you do not actually have to consider too much individual needs or wants when you're gift shopping. Of course, I think this method is best for, well, people you feel an obligation to give towards. So maybe like coworkers, right? Everybody gets a whatever you think is good for them, okay? Maybe some gift card or some knick-knack. Though I really would get advice against junk, right? When in doubt, especially if you're into fire, buy them books. Maybe that pinnacle of fire tome, your money or your life, you could buy that for literally everyone because, good God, most Americans really need help understanding the very basics of personal finance, right? Now, I enjoy philosophy, so I have gifted quite a few tomes in that direction to more than a handful of people over my lifetime, okay? Works for most adults. Now, I would say this method, is not great if you're shopping for kids, obviously. Kids' trends cannot be properly predicted, and yeah, I get it. It sucks to be parents because you have to chase those trends. That's just tough luck. But remember, it is very hard to predict what people want, so just buy them whatever you want them to have. At the very least, they will likely remember where they got that copy of whatever esoteric tome that you chose from, okay? Yeah. Now the second option, okay, obviously there's a big exception to buying what you want people to have, which is, of course, when you know exactly what someone wants, or maybe they ask for it specifically. I mean, realistically, I don't think most people are telling you specific items. So this exception really is most likely for your very best friends or immediate family members, right? To be honest, even with family, in my experience, they're not telling you exactly what they want. So that is what makes gift giving annoying and difficult, right? That's why I usually say, get them what you want them to have instead. But if, let's say, my dad says, I would love to have a gold watch as a present. Maybe I'll indulge him, right? Especially in my early retirement. I know some people might argue, hey, I don't have a regular income anymore, therefore, shouldn't a retiree be more stingy about big presents? For me, it's actually the opposite, okay? I mean, if I tell my close loved ones that I can literally afford to never have a job again, still just be barely in my middle age, right, and be okay, but then have to be cheap about it. How does that look? Okay, so I would rather be able to afford pretty nice stuff if push comes to shove. Now, I stand by my own freedom to purchase the same, if not more, monetary value as the average American. The difference is I still want to only buy 1 or 2 things per person, because otherwise it just seems silly, okay? The joy of simply opening a present, I think it's so fleeting and just frankly childish, okay? So as adults, hard pass on the many gifts thing, okay? Please. If someone tells you something specific though, feel free to pick 1 or 2 at best. Now, finally, since I'm generally against the avalanche approach to gift giving, how would I move people, say your peers or maybe your friends, family, away from this type of just over-the-top consumerism, right? What you can do is ask them for specific things and honestly make it personal. When I say things, what I really mean is whatever will mean the most to you, okay? Gifts that I think are personal are best, right? Doesn't even have to be personal and specific. What I mean is, like, for example, we have a neighbor who knitted both me and wifey hats, okay? Like really colorful little hats. I think that's great. It's singular, it's unique, and yet non-specific, but still personal, right? Because he was making hats for lots of people. When I see that hat, there's no way I won't remember who it's from. Now, compare that to all the junk most of us have gotten over the years during Christmas season. I think back to the last decade, okay? How many presents can you actually recall? I'm gonna guess it's not even anywhere near 50% because most stuff are simply not personal. Now, me personally, I'm on the extreme end of not particularly being stuff-focused, so I actually want to shift the mindsets of our common consumers by asking for, let's say, some artistic thing like a poem, okay? This is for adults, obviously. Because it demands a little bit of time and effort, sure, but it is of no monetary value, but high sentimental value, okay? It is unique and personal and easy to store. I create no waste via Amazon packaging. I create no clutter because it's on a page, and I'll always remember whoever wrote me stuff because it is like the most personal thing compared to anything you can order to your home via Amazon, isn't it? Now, at the end of the day, I know I'm not going to be able to shift the mentality of a whole culture of people who's been, literally moving junk around. I mean, gifting in a circular fashion, gifting and regifting for decades. And I even understand, okay? These types of holidays and gifting traditions are great for children, without their own sense of object agency, right? Because kids don't have any money, they can't buy things. But I'm not a kid. I do not need more stuff, especially it's stuff that I can easily purchase for myself. I'm a fully functional and competent adult. I mean, almost everything I want, I can just buy. So I guess maybe I'm just picky, and that's why I ask for specific things like writing, because those types of gifts, like think about it, right? I cannot get that for myself, okay? Now, do you guys agree, or am I off my rockers? Feel free to yell at me below. Oh, internet, hail, internet. Anyway, cheers, à la prochaine.